This is another episode of the Decoy Sports Podcast. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. We obviously had a bit of a large one last night.
Yes, we did. I might have had one the night before as well.
So today, basically, I got out of bed, sat and watched a bit of the EPL this morning, and then I thought we'd pop down the shop to get a little few groceries, bit of a bite to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We walk outside, and my partner has decided to leave the keys inside, so that was really good. Yep, couldn't get back inside.
Pissing down rain.
Yeah, pissing down rain. We had to call the locksmith because it's a Sunday too.
And that was cheap.
No, it's $300 later.
Fuck me.
$300. They walked back in,
God.
walked in with a master key. He unlocked the door and said, "Thanks."
You're kidding.
Yep, $300.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
So today, the whole day, every time Erin's gone and done anything, I've just gone, "Oh, that's an expensive nap. Oh, that's we got some groceries," and I was like, we got maybe like 4 things of groceries, and I was like, "Oh, that's an expensive grocery."
Yeah, instead of $150, it was $450.
Like
Holy
$20
fuck.
worth of groceries turned into $320.
Holy shit.
So yeah, that was really good.
Sounds like a good start to your Sunday.
Fucking hell. But I think what happened was just she went out last night. She's taken just a key.
Yes.
Not her like car keys and shit.
Yeah,
and then
not put it back on.
Yeah, and as I was walking out the door, I was like, "You got your keys?" And she's like, "Yep." Picked up her car keys, and I was like, "I don't need mine. No, don't need them."
Yep.
And then she's walked outside, and then we had all the garbage and stuff from last night, all the bottles and shit. So we put them in the bin, and then she's gone, "Oh no." I felt bad for her. She did start crying and stuff. But
Yeah.
I
Pretty
was
heavy.
trying to be like really pissed off, but I
Yeah.
felt bad at the same time.
Yeah,
so it was
like,
hard to.
you were annoyed, but also it's like it was a birthday yesterday too.
Good birthday present, eh?
Fuck.
Yeah. So
Heavy.
yeah,
That's
good way to end of the week.
Yeah. Well, hopefully tomorrow's better.
Yeah. Just dipping into our conversation of last week. Obviously, we had the kangaroo conversation.
Yeah.
Had another deep thought yesterday. We were obviously having a few drinks.
This will be good.
There was a cheese platter out, and lots of flies around. And I just sort of thought when I was sitting there, I was like, where do all these fuckers go at night time? Like you never see them at night. Do flies sleep?
Maybe. Are they like, what's the opposite of nocturnal? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, actually.
Like you never really see them at night time.
Is it
After
'cause-
like 7 o'clock, gets a bit dark, don't see them.
Are they like, yeah, I guess. There wasn't really any flying around when it was
No.
night time.
As soon as it got dark,
I was going to
cheese
say,
platter was there,
yeah.
no flies.
I was going to say, like, because normally you're inside, locked, like, everything's closed up. But we weren't
Then
last
you can
night.
sit outside, you have a barbie and it goes a bit late, food's around,
Yeah.
sun
There's no
goes,
flies.
maybe they're scared of the dark. They're scared of the
Maybe.
dark. Maybe that's what it is.
True.
Yeah.
Another one I've never thought about.
Yeah. Should we have a look?
Should have a look, actually.
Let's have a quick look.
Let's have a look.
What are we looking at? Do flies sleep?
Do flies sleep? Why do you not see flies at night?
Do flies sleep?
This will be
Flies
interesting.
are, I can't even say that word, mate. Diurnal. Diurnal?
They
Animals and sleep mainly at night, even when kept in constant darkness.
They require polarized light to guide them visually.
Ah.
As the day turns to
But
dusk,
where do they sleep? That's
flies
the question.
take refuge under leaves and branches, on twigs and tree trunks,
Holy shit.
on the stems of tall grass and other plants.
Wow. There you go,
Yeah.
mate. You learn something new every day.
There you go. You're welcome, everybody.
All right, mate. Let's move on. So, yeah, some big games this week. Who impressed you the most?
Gotta say the Bulldogs
Yeah.
for mine.
Oh,
I did not. Well, obviously in my tips last week I didn't pick. You picked them, but I did not pick that.
Yeah.
And like pretty good thumping as well.
Yeah. I believe the correct wording you said was, "What are you smoking?" when I said the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think that was what I said. Yeah, nah, they were pretty good. They were my for the week.
No,
What
they were
about-
really good.
Who do you reckon?
I went in a different direction, so I thought the Sharks just really turned up.
Yep.
Obviously without Nico again. They at the Eels as well. I thought it was really good win.
West, Combank.
Combank, one of the two. Yeah. I thought they really turned up, and the game was in the balance a couple of times. They sort of got to a bit of a lead, then
Yep.
Eels came back in, but they hung on, and I just thought like the grit they showed through that game, they definitely impressed me the most there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good blueprint for them going forward without Nico for how long he's going to be out.
Exactly. If it is about round 5 is what they're sort of saying.
Yeah. If they can put a few of those sort of performances together,
Exactly.
they'll be sitting in a good spot when he comes back.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think, I had him around that top 4. I actually had him first, I think. So,
Yep.
if they don't need to finish first, they need to win those sorts of games. And, if they could get out of this sort of spell, if he's not coming back to round 5 and they can get 3 wins out of 4 or something, obviously they drop that first game, they'll probably be all right. They'll be up there.
Yeah.
Who
Agreed.
least impressed you? I think we both got the same
we
one
both have
here.
the same here. The Tigers for mine.
Yeah, they were fucking shit, man. I
Putrid,
don't know what to say about them.
For a team for us, the Knights, to lose Ponga, Brayley, Rizal, Dom Young in the bin, Saifidi sent off.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck we didn't get 30 put on us? I don't know. And we win.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Was it 4 players? Because Johns went off too.
Yeah, I think he
So
maybe
I don't think
came good.
Did he come back on?
I think he was right to come on if they needed him, but they didn't use him.
But then they got, I think if you go down, is it under 2, you get a replacement player? I didn't know that. I thought it was only through HIAs.
I thought it was 3, but it's 2 because they used one as well.
Oh, yeah, no, it does make sense. It is through HIAs, but you had Ponga and Brayley.
Yeah.
So, they changed it this year. That was one of those new rules.
Yeah.
Which is better. I
It
think
is better,
3's
yeah.
too much.
But yeah.
3's, to lose 3 players with head knocks before you get 1 back on. It almost should be 1 for 1, I think.
It should be, yeah.
With the thing I said last week with the whole, I think you should get a forward and a back in your reserves. And then if whatever goes off injured, that other person should be able to, you can replace them with the forward or your back.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, dude, they were fucking shit.
Putrid, eh? Bad.
Just to literally, I'm going to say 1 try because the second try was bullshit. That was a double movement.
Mate.
So to score 1 try in that whole game, it was around 30 minutes. They were down. You were down for a player because you had someone set in the sin bin. Dom Young went to sin bin for 10.
Yep.
And then there was about 20 to 15 minutes left when
there was 14 minutes I think when Saifidi went off.
Yeah. So what's that?
24 minutes.
24 minutes. And they couldn't score more than 1 try in 24 minutes. The amount of times they had overlaps.
Yep.
And that last ball was just fucking shit, man.
That kick that Appy did went half a meter.
Dewey made 6 errors, just some of the shittest plays you'll ever see.
Yep.
What is Adam doing? I don't know.
What is he doing? Seriously.
Yeah, mate, they were just shit. It's I don't know. We tipped the Dragons to finish last, and you can already see it starting to implode a bit at the Tigers, man. We'll talk about the stuff that happened after the game and stuff in a bit, but yeah, dude. There's obviously
Tigers
are
are
just not
just
clicking.
bad.
They're just bad, man.
Bad.
All right. Let's get into some weekly news. So, firstly, obviously, biggest thing that come out of that game was Ponga's concussion in the first couple minutes.
Yep.
That's his 4th concussion in 10 months.
Yep.
What do you reckon the future looks like there, man?
Mate, you want to think he'll recover, he'll come back better. But how many's too many? Has it been too many?
Well,
Does he need 10 weeks off now? That's
yeah.
what happened with Kiri over with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he had, how long is that stint he had off when you think about it that he's just come back for?
Yeah,
You got to also
6
remember
months or
last
something.
week he technically didn't get a concussion.
No, yeah, that's right. That was
just
the shit.
It looks compounded because of that as well.
Yeah. He's just gone off for HIA twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you sort of started to see it with what was his name? Cordner.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a mental blank. Should know that name. When he was towards the end of when he had that period when he was, you know, really cooked, and the one in the Origin, like, I don't know if you remember that one, but wasn't that bad. Like, he barely got hit.
Yeah.
This was bad. I know that, but I'm saying the one, say, last week, for instance, the reason he got ruled out was because he laid motionless for a minute.
Yeah.
And who knows? It could have been, he got his bell running. He's like, fucking hell. Like,
yeah,
you know,
he was only in there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it shows the more you get, like, we don't know enough about concussions, but we're learning more and more. But it looks like the more you get, especially in a shorter period of time, the littler the knock, the heart, like,
the more,
like, it's as bad as getting a bad one.
Yeah. So smashes you way harder.
Exactly. So it's, yeah, man, it depends. I don't know how they're going to look at it from here. Like,
I don't know. He surely has to be off for a month or something, right? Like, I don't want that to be the case, but
I could see, like, because he had that massive stint out for, I think he got 3 in 4 months or whatever. So then they sat him out the rest of the year. That was around, what, 8 weeks?
Yeah, it was around 18 or something, I think.
Yeah, so that plus the off season. So he's probably out
5
for
months.
5-6 months.
Yeah.
So he's had one, if we're not counting last week, sorry. You know, does he just sit out for 2 weeks and then they go, all right, they're paying him a lot of money, man, at the end of the day. And it's like,
you're not getting value for money. Like, as
it's
bad
hard,
as that
right? It's hard
sounds.
as a club because you got to look out for the player, but you've also got to look out for yourselves as well. And you're paying someone probably the most money out of anyone in the game. I think he's probably on the most
he's up
1.3-ish around there. You know, and then you've got him sitting out for 4 or 5 weeks.
He played 14 games last year and finished 7.
It's not good, is it?
Nah.
So
yeah,
it's a bit of a starting to be a liability, man.
Yeah.
If it wasn't already.
Yep. It's hard, like, as a fan. Like, you want your best players on the park every week
for sure,
as much as you can, but we're not seeing enough of him.
Yeah, you sort of sit there like, I'm not even a Knights fan, obviously you are, but I was sitting there and as soon as it happened, I was like, oh God, like,
again,
can he just catch a break? Like, honestly, like,
seriously, and like that was always going to be
that's the issue in the line as well.
Playing 6, right?
It's hard, man, because then you've got Lockie Miller there now, and he killed it today, and you're just like. You can't move him back now. Nah. You've made that commitment.
Yep.
But this is what the issue was going to be that everyone had was like, oh, you put him in the line.
Yeah.
Now he's more susceptible to even more contact that he has in the game.
Because the ones like last year were more him running the ball and getting tackled.
Attacking.
Not him tackling.
No.
Like, he's just not used to like that, where to put his head or when to set himself. It was just a little man on a big man, that one. Yeah. Like, he kind of just hit his shoulder, right, as he was running. And that was all it was. Like, he didn't really put his head in the wrong spot. No.
Old mate was just a lot bigger than him.
Just unlucky.
And just hit him straight in the shoulder, and that was it.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's
hard, man. It will be interesting to see what happens there. I think, you're probably right.
Mandatory, I think, like 2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
Grade 1.
I don't know, man, because Rad's got a grade 1, and he almost came back this week.
Yeah, right.
And then they ruled him out like 24 hours before, but he's back this week coming. Yeah. So it's only been a week. So
yeah, true.
I don't know. I think if you pass protocols, even though it's a Cat 1, you might be all right, I think. Or I'm not really sure. But I think minimum 2 to 3 weeks, you know, as a minimum, he has to sit out. Yeah.
Like, just for his well-being, right?
Just the good thing about it, like, after the game, he was jumping around, he was there, so he wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't have any lingering effect.
The issue is it's later on, like, you know, in a week, like through the week, you don't start having headaches and this and that, right? Like, that's all these later sort of things that happen. So we'll see what happens. Second one, man, this is pretty bad, but the Latrell being sort of racially abused as he left the field at halftime.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're Indigenous, or you have Indigenous backgrounds. So what do you sort of think about that, mate?
I think it's a fucking joke, mate.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's 2023. Like, what the like, are these kids not being educated? Like, what? I don't understand. It makes you mad. Like, everyone should be mad.
Yeah, I've seen, like, Demetrio set off the game as well. He was sort of like, this isn't the first time it's happened here as well.
Yeah, and it's not.
But then it's like out at Penrith as well.
So multicultural.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
And Australia is a multicultural nation.
Yeah. But out that sort of Western Sydney way, it's quite multicultural out there.
Yeah.
Like probably more so than in other areas. So for it to happen out there, and he reckons it's not once, like it's quite sad to see, man.
It's
like,
disappointing. Like there needs to be more like education.
Yeah.
Obviously, like
it's obviously not through schools and stuff as well, man.
Yeah.
I think it's getting better. But
it's still so far behind.
It is. Yeah. We are far behind.
Like take him out of rugby league, superstar, all that. Like no one should be going to work.
Nah, he's topped a fuckload as well, mate. Like through his career, like people say he might get pushed out the game, and
that's what I was about to say. Like no wonder he wants to retire early.
Yeah,
like why would you want to put yourself in that situation?
Yeah,
for money.
Yeah, 100%.
Wild.
It's hopefully it doesn't turn into any sort of Adam Goods thing. I don't think it ever will, like how he got pushed out of AFL.
Yeah.
But I think times have changed probably even when Adam played. It's I think not changed in like general as in like that's it, but it's changing, you know what I mean? It's getting better.
Yeah.
But I think people will really back him and stand up for him and stand up for what's right and what's wrong.
For sure.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I saw I thought was pretty cool was Nico coming out and sort of saying that they should invite the kid down to, because it was like a 15-year-old kid, right?
15-year-old kid, yeah.
Invite him down to one of the Indigenous camps and get him to sort of like learn about their culture and all that sort of stuff. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, and it's always Nico's always seems to be that good guy that sort of has those different opinions like that.
Yeah, I can see it from like an educational like standpoint as well.
Yeah, and I think that's half the issue, man. It's not, you can't necessarily say that kid's an absolute piece of shit or anything like that. He's a kid for one. I did a lot of stupid shit when I was 15 as well. Everyone did. But it's like, maybe it's just he hasn't, as you said, he hasn't had that education. Is there ways that, this Indigenous sort of camp that he could go something like that and be like, oh my God, I'm a complete dickhead.
Yeah, what the fuck was I doing?
Exactly. And then can that be put more into schools and shit so kids aren't doing that,
I agree. Like everybody's quick to crucify and like by rights, it was fucked. You should never.
Yeah,
that shouldn't even be a thing, thought in your mind.
Exactly. I love Latrell, man. Like he pisses me off sometimes when he's playing really well,
but
he's
so good,
just like any other player does. It's not because of his color or his background. There's nothing to do with that. It's all around like he's pissed you off because he's scored against you or something like that. But at the same time, I used to cheer him as well, and loved him, like absolutely love him, and I still do love him. He puts a Blues jersey on, I still love him. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
It's just there's nothing to do with that. It's purely just because of like a team sort of thing. If it was, I don't know, anyone, right? Like Kalen Ponga, if he scored against me, I'd be like, oh fucking hell, like you know what I mean? It's the same sort of thing. So
for sure.
Yeah, man, it's pretty sad to see, but hopefully
just doesn't have a place in like our society.
Yeah. It was good to see. I seen the Roosters come out and sort of say like we stand with Latrell and put a nice little statement out about like that should never happen. And Robbo said some things as well. And I think the club probably felt like they were inclined to the fact that he had a Roosters jersey on. So
the Knights put something out too.
Did they? Yeah. So it must have been most of the clubs did, which is good to see. Like every club should
for sure,
and just really stand as one in that sort of thing.
Indigenous Australians have such a big place in rugby league. Like think about all the greats that have come through.
Yeah.
Like wouldn't be the same without their impact.
Yeah, 100%.
Like on and off the field.
Yeah.
That's just
What do you think about him getting a lifetime ban? Being 15.
Good.
Mate, you reckon it's good?
Yep.
Yeah. Make an example of him?
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Like you don't need people like that at the game. Who's to say he's not going to do it again?
Yeah, exactly.
Like bring his idiot mates with him or something.
Yeah. I was really for it in terms of like, definitely ban him out because I thought it might have been some like middle-aged kind of guy. But then when I seen he was 15, that's the only thing that I could push back and go, he's very young and might really not understand. And that's the biggest thing around it. It's like,
I sort of think
for it to never be able to go to a game again because of maybe something a mistake he made at 15. But
you sort of know, right
from wrong. You do. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do, man. Like if they do stamp someone like that out, or if they go more down the route of like, look, let's try and educate him and put him like, we'll see what happens.
That's it.
Next one. So I heard today that Nathan Brown has signed with the Roosters for the rest of the year.
Another brown paper bag. Get the brown paper bag out.
Yeah, mate.
I'm sure they're not paying much for him.
Yeah, I don't know how they've signed him, to be honest. But maybe they got, because they were asking for salary cap.
For Crichton.
For Crichton. So,
yeah, but I didn't think they got that.
I don't know. Has it come out that they didn't? I just heard that they were getting it. No,
yeah.
But maybe Roosters do a lot of shit behind closed doors, mate.
I bet they do.
You never really know, but all in all, who knows how they've done it? But the fact they've done it, what do you sort of think of the signing for us? How do you think he'll play a role for us moving forward?
It's obviously for depth, right? I think he is. When he's on. He's a good player.
Yeah,
he's got that mongrel about him. He'll be good, under Trent Robinson. But I don't know. He's got a few blow-ups and errors in his game.
Yeah, but you can see that getting sort of stamped out a little bit, just playing at the Roosters and what we're about.
Yeah,
you sort of see the Lodge come over last year and sort of completely
sort of changed his
whole game.
Around.
Yeah, he had the talent there, like Lodge did, but then he didn't have that,
the attitude.
That attitude.
Yeah.
And I think people forget how big someone like Jared Hargreaves is in terms of just our team in general and what he brings to the team in terms of a leader role.
Yeah.
And I think someone like Lodge got straight under his wing, and them two 1-2 punching last year was just that was when we went on that run. And you could hope someone like Nathan Brown, who's got a lot of good footy, I reckon, left in him. He just sort of has lost his way a little bit out in the deals. A couple of years ago, he was killing it, man.
Yeah. Played for the Blues.
He played for the Blues. Yeah, he can easily get back there. It's a good depth signing as well because, as you said, we're pretty light in the forwards at the moment as well. I think this week we had 5 or 6 forwards out. So
it's not going to hurt for sure.
And it's clear that Radley can't stay injury free. Just it's the way he plays, man. I don't think you're ever going to change him, no matter what you say.
Yeah.
He'll rip in 100% and get knocked out a lot and get injuries and this and that. But that's also why you love him. So if you can have someone like Brown on the bench, I don't think they would have signed him if Connor Watson was fit.
No,
he's sort of that backup 13 for you.
And how long is he out for?
Probably the year until
was it his Achilles? No, it wasn't his Achilles again. Was it?
I think he broke his patella.
Yeah, right.
So it's a little bit less. I think it's 5 months or something, 4 or 5 months. So I think they said he might come back in the 20 rounds kind of thing,
a few weeks before finals.
Yeah, but then you got to get fit. Yeah. You probably got him for the finals if you want him. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of if he hasn't played all year, are you going to risk putting him in? Is he that good of a starting player that you're he's straight in the team?
Yeah, we need him straight.
If we got it depends. If we got injuries, great.
Yep.
Put him in, but if you got a full strength side, he might not even make that team, man.
Yeah.
I'd put him over someone like Hutchinson. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not a massive fan of Hutchinson. If you're going to play
really?
Turpin and Hutchinson, I'd rather have Turpin and Watson because I think he can come on and still play that utility role, but then he can play in the forwards, whereas Hutchinson can't really.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, man. But I think it's a good signing for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, mate. That's the weekly news wrapped up. We'll move into the games for the week. All right, so we'll kick off. We'll get the Roosters game out the way first, and then we'll get the Knights game, and then we'll go through the rest of the games. So, firstly, I thought we played pretty well, the Roosters. We had a lot of players out, obviously, as I just mentioned.
Yep.
About 5 or 6 of the forwards. Our backline was full strength, and I think they had to take a bit of that leadership, in the game to sort of give the young forwards that were sort of playing for us a bit of a, that sort of setting that platform.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they did really well. There was a few things. I thought Collins was a massive because he was probably our only real senior forward that was in the team.
Yeah.
Especially with Rads getting ruled out pretty late as well. He had to really stand up.
Yep.
It did show in our attack though, without Rads there,
it fell apart a little bit. It was a bit clunky.
Yeah, he has so much ball playing skills, and we just didn't have that because I think what would have happened was I think Cheese was supposed to play 9 for a bit, and then when Turpin came on, I think he would have moved to 13 because we started with that Nafua White, who's just an out and out forward, front rower. He has no real ball playing, so he just
just another middle forward.
Yeah, it was kind of when we used to have like Liu that would come on for us, or like if he had to cover and play that 13 role, he'd just be, we'd go away from that ball playing sort of thing. But and then obviously Cheese hurt his back like pretty early on, and then he was out the rest of the game again. So we had to sort of change our sort of, I guess, our shape and stuff there. So, but yeah, like we we got through it. I think Suoliti, he made a couple of mistakes. He's obviously, people have to remember he's still only like 20, man. And he's learning a new position again now.
Yep.
I know he's played a lot of that center sort of role in his younger days and stuff.
It's different in NRL.
It's different in NRL, and he made a couple of mistakes. He shot in where he did like against the Dolphins last week, but he was getting the timing right, and he was like shutting it down. This week he didn't, and there was a couple where they got the ball out the back. Like Teddy made a really good cover tackle, and there's a couple others. So against better teams, I'll probably put them away. You know what I mean? So it's hard. You just gotta, he's just got to work on that.
It's and that timing,
And I think I sort of said to you yesterday as well, the other thing there is he has Butcher inside him now as well on that edge. So, if you have a Crichton or something that's played in that position for a while, that edge defender is normally
like a lot better.
He rules who goes, who stays and shit a little bit.
Yep.
And you've got another person that's not really played that position in Egan Butcher.
Yeah.
It's a little bit off there.
That'll take time if that's what they're going to do moving forward a little bit, like covering that position. Like they'll get better.
Yeah. And then Satili will come back soon.
Yeah,
I'd almost think Satili slots straight into the left.
Yeah.
And you leave Nat on the right because he cemented his spot last year, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless Robbo might change him around because Satili's better on the right or something. But I honestly reckon he'll just slot straight into the left. Yeah. But yeah, man, I thought other than that, like
Teddy was a bit clunky.
He was okay. Obviously, dropped that ball that was like a dead set try.
Yeah.
Like other than that, I thought he played well. Manu you could tell was like, coming back from injury. His face isn't still fully healed. He had a big headgear and thing on. He wasn't himself, but he'll only be better for the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, I think we did enough to win the game, but didn't play great. If that makes sense, it's probably the best way to put it.
This time of the year, when you still got like a lot of forwards out, you still have like the team's not fully cohesion. A win's a win, right?
Yeah, and this is what we said last week. It's just these are the games you just need to tick off.
Yep.
So you're not sitting too far down the table come 100%. Back end of the year if you want to make top 4 and stuff.
Yeah.
Thought the Warriors did okay in patches. They were patchy though. Like
they were
started really poorly
last week.
Yeah. Started really poorly. Played good through that middle part of the first half.
Yep.
And then sort of came on strong at the back end. But yeah, you can't really win games against teams like the Roosters if you're that patchy.
No, not if you're playing 40 minutes of footy or 30 minutes of footy even.
Yeah.
I thought they were good. I thought the Roosters, they did what they needed to do to win.
It. Yeah.
And that's what you got to do.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed, but I was like happy, if that makes sense. Like had a lot of, as I said, you lose those sorts of players. Like we had Crichton, Rads, Satili, JWH and Lodge out. And then Smith was out most of the game.
Yeah.
That's 6 big like forwards out of the game. So
your starting players.
Yeah. So for those other players, like the funny thing about that, I always go on about Sia Wong, but you have like 5 of your forwards out and you still can't even get a run on the bench.
Yeah, it's wild.
What's he doing wrong?
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah. Anyway. All right.
Let's say what's he doing wrong?
Yeah, what's he doing wrong? That's awesome. Oh, good one. All right. Let's move on to the Knights, mate. Yes. Oh my god. What a game that was.
Seriously, edge of your seat stuff that was.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Good to get the win.
Yeah.
But fuck me, ugly.
Yeah. And at what cost?
Oh, seriously. Seriously. Mate, I don't know. A lot of players stood up.
Yeah.
Which, like, finally, well, not finally, it's only been 2 weeks, but Tyson Gamble got a run. Thank fuck.
He was awesome, man.
He came on. He made a few, like, errors, like, kick the ball out in the full sort of thing, but good passion, energy. Like, you can tell he's getting the boys. Like, yeah. Those first 2 tries were like, he had a hand in. Really good. I think Gagai being back sort of shored up that side a bit.
Yep.
He had some real strong carries. Who else? Phoenix Crossland. He had to come on and play 66 minutes. played pretty good.
Yeah, he did make some mistakes.
He did.
I thought. I just remember the reason I know that is because like he'd make a mistake and I would just think in my head, oh, Joel's going to be blowing up right now.
He did more good than bad today though, which was good.
No, he did.
Leo Thompson,
he was. I got raps on him, man, hard. Mate. Like last year, I thought he was. I mean, last year he was massive and like. He was like one of your pack leaders he shouldn't have to be, but 100%. He was.
Yeah.
And I thought today he was awesome.
He was so good.
Yeah. He's a one for the future, man.
For sure. He's only super young.
He's like 20, I think.
Yeah. Fuck. Imagine him in 5 years.
Yeah, we'll probably get him in a couple of years.
Probably. Lodge will retire or something and he'll come straight in.
Yeah.
Nah, it was, like Tigers played poorly. Like, it should have put a cricket score on us, to be fair.
Mate.
But I'm happy to get the win.
Yeah, man. You know, as we said before, you lost Johns, Frizzell, Ponga, and Brayley.
Yeah.
And they score one try, man. Like, that is
we're not including that other try.
And the thing is, it's like, they said that, like, this year's, they're going back to the 05 Tigers, so everything's going to be about their attack.
Yeah,
like it's all going to be about their attack.
And attacking prowess.
How many? What was the score last week for them? How many tries they score there?
They scored 10 points. They scored 2 penalty goals and a try.
So they scored 2 tries. I'm not counting the other one. Still,
no,
I'm not counting that.
Fuck that.
2 tries.
The guy in the box even said when he promotes the ball off the ground and he ends up in there from momentum.
Yeah,
he promoted the fucking ball.
Someone was holding on his legs. He hit the ground. The ball hit the ground. He then lifted his arm and then put his arm out and planted the ball down. Yeah, that's a double movement.
Double movement. Like if you look back at every double movement, they would have to turn back and give them all tries.
Exactly.
Like what the fuck? They're just opening themselves up.
It's the same every year, man.
Mate.
Yep, it's the same every year. And you know what the issue is always with the video refs and stuff? It's consistency because they'll rule something one week and the next week will be completely different.
We'll do that next week against the Dolphins. And it will be a penalty.
Exactly, man. That's what I mean. There's no consistency.
No.
Yeah, dude. Like they just look so clunky, the Tigers.
Yep.
I just thought your defense was unbelievable, and it was.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, like, it's the attitude thing, man. You know what I mean? Like it's a big attitude thing.
Yeah. You heard Hastings after in that in the interview after the game. He reckons he loves playing under Adam O'Brien and he's instilling like belief within all the players.
Yeah.
Defensive attitude.
Yeah. And you can see it, man.
Yeah.
And I think just adding in those people, as you mentioned, Gamble was really good. He set up a couple of tries there. And I just think, you know, someone like him, he's got that cunt in him as well, which is what you need.
Like, you've seen it, mate.
Oh, mate.
He was fucking into him.
Adam,
what's Adam doing?
Adam made the worst mistake ever. Like, and then he just fucking gave it to him.
Oh.
And then he had a cramp and he gave it to him that hard that he's got up with a cramp and tried to fight him.
He like definitely shirt punched him.
100%. It should have been Simon.
Yeah, dude.
As soon as I seen it, I was like, well, he's punched him there.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you got a jersey in your hand or not. You punched him. You made a punching motion.
I said that to my missus. I'm like, he just punched him. She's like, no, he didn't.
That's a punch.
A fist on your face is a punch.
It's a punch. I don't care if you got a bit of jersey in your hand or not.
What the fuck?
Another one they missed. But
seriously.
But yeah, like, fuck, man. I thought Miller was really good for yous.
He was
really good. Made some massive runs out of your back end when you needed it.
Yeah.
I think Gagai, he really stood up as well. Like obviously, he's going to be big for yous. Just in terms of your I don't know, just leadership.
Like, just a mature head like out there.
Yeah. I don't know if you did notice this. I wrote it down, but did you notice there was about 45 forward passes in that game?
Mate.
What was up with that?
What the fuck was up? And I'm pretty...
Both teams.
And you look at many. And you look at them and they were all forward passes.
Dude, like, all, like...
You know me.
They weren't even like, oh, that was flat.
Nah, you know me. Whenever the Knights do a forward pass, I'm like, they're not forward.
Everyone kept like overrunning plays. Yeah. And then they would still throw it.
A lot of it was like Jackson Hastings on for us.
Yeah.
Hesitated.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, that Gamble did a couple. Miller did one out of dummy half. Yeah, there was a couple for the Tigers as well. Yeah, bro. What do you reckon about the Jacob Saf tackle?
Yeah, he cleaned him up.
Not good.
He cleaned him up.
Not
on
good.
First like replay, I was like, oh, he didn't even fucking get him.
I thought because he changed directions and he just sort of like stood his ground. I thought old mate ran into his chest.
That's what I thought too. And then they hit him from another angle,
and you're like, oh,
like he fucking
fucked,
took
dude.
his beak off, mate.
He is fucked, dude.
Seriously.
I think
it'll be like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, minimum. I think.
Yeah,
probably minimum 4. If you look at the Graham one,
yeah,
I reckon Graham didn't get sent off, so I think automatically that's probably going to be like classed a little bit worse.
yeah.
He got 3 weeks,
careless, right?
Yeah, he got 3 weeks, I think, and then obviously tried to fight it and got 4. So I think you're probably looking at 4 with an early guilty.
Yeah, which is shit because you know he's Origin front rower.
Yeah, it's going to be a big miss for you. But,
but if Leo Thompson can step up,
yeah, man.
Well, you got Hetherington now.
Yeah,
you know.
Yep, you got players there, man. That we do cover.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Let's move on. So we'll go back to Thursday night.
Yep. Just quickly, while talking about the Knights game, what the fuck was that captain's challenge? Dom Young.
I'll have this in our segment later on. Let's save it for there.
God, okay.
Let's save it for there.
Seriously. Yeah.
All right, mate. So Panthers Souths. We had that on Thursday night.
Yes, we did.
How did you feel that game went, mate? You tipped South. I had Panthers down.
I did tip South. Look, they just got like outplayed for 65 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't look good.
They're just clunky. Like nothing was sticking. Drop balls, like just shitty turnovers. Yeah, Panthers. They look good. I'm surprised they didn't beat them like by 30.
Yeah,
they were looking good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I thought the Panthers still looked a bit clunky in attack. Like they didn't flow like they did last year, and I think it'll, as we sort of said last week, it will come.
Yeah.
But I thought again, Sonny Luke coming on. He's like actually quite old.
Is he?
Last week I was like, oh yeah, his kid will get better.
Yeah, I thought he was like 19 or something.
They were saying, I think he's like 27 or 28 or something like that. But he just hasn't really made it anywhere.
Yeah,
But he looks good, man. He has that sort of flair when he comes on.
Yeah, he does.
I think Kenny went off with a HIA and then he came on, and it was at that time where they were sort of just getting that dominance. And I think that helped them roll through the middle a bit more. And like he's going to be that really cool inclusion, I think, for him this year. It's a good pickup. And then, I think Martin swapped sides in the second half as well.
He was a weapon.
And then I think him with Luai, that just sort of, he was almost playing that kick out role.
Yep.
And that worked really well for them, I think. And
he was playing good on the right.
Yeah, he was. He was playing good.
And then he came on the left and he was playing equally,
Did they just put Garner on the right?
Yeah, I think they just swapped him.
Okay. Yeah. And that's probably what's going to take like a couple of games to go, like this is going to work better now, this, and they'll figure it out, man. But I think their defense just shows like that's what won them the game still. Like they're just like their line speed and their defense, and that's why they'll win more games than they won't, man. And I think they'll still be there at the end of the year. But yeah, South, I think they had a few middles out that they definitely missed. I think, they had Totola out. Jai Arrow was out, and then obviously Latrell wasn't 100%.
Nah,
you could tell he didn't play great.
Nah. Sort of when he warmed up, got warm 60 minutes is when he started.
You saw even at the end when they were coming back in, and they were like wanting him to do something, and he would like make a play, but then he was a bit slow, and then and then as soon as the game finished, I seen him limping, like he was. You could tell he wasn't like 100% kind of thing.
Be surprising if he's there next week.
Yeah, I think he will be. It's the Roosters, so I think they'll have to play that game.
Yep.
It's a big game for them, so no one really wants to miss that one.
The Rabbitohs got close,
they come back.
They were a meter away from scoring at the end there.
Yeah. It kind of, I feel like that whole ending didn't really show the dominance that Panthers had though. Do you know what I mean? I think they dominated that game, man. I think I texted you probably 10 minutes out from the end, and I was like. They've smoked them in. I think they scored a trial too late, and it was really,
it's not a reflection.
It wasn't at all.
No, it should have been 30-10.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. So, Eels Sharks.
Yep.
That one finished.
Sharkies got up.
Yeah, so 30-26, pretty close in the end.
You love seeing those sort of games. I don't know. I love seeing just a lot of tries.
Yeah,
especially the Sydney Derby.
Not when it's your own team.
No. Not when it's Knights playing and they get fucking flogged.
When you're neutral, though, it's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah, dude. I think
Will Kennedy got a hat trick.
Yeah, he played really good, man.
He did.
Yep. I think the Eels' defense wasn't great. Like as you said, obviously they've let in 30 points, and they're just not looking like they did last year, man.
No.
Like I remember even the Eels throughout most of the year last year, man. They were quite like up and down.
They were.
They lost like a lot of weird games and shit that they should have probably won. Yep. This is one of them, and it's a big thing for them next week, man. Because I think they got someone quite hard next week. They've got they got
Manly.
Manly.
Yeah,
at Manly.
At Manly on Thursday night.
Yeah, so they could be 0-3 to start the year off here, and man. Like it's a big loss.
Coming from a grand final to be 0-3.
Yep, it's a massive loss this week. They completed at 66%.
Yep.
Not very good. No. Like they dropped a lot of balls, had a lot of mistakes. Also, Moses whinged that entire game. Like the whole game. It was like
it seems like a whingy cunt.
Oh, mate. I was watching it, every little 50-50 call, like going, mate, like it was hard to watch. I was almost like just go away.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not even the captain, bro.
No.
And then Gutho would come over and he's like, go away. Like he was even telling him fuck off.
Yeah.
Another cool stat, Moses has lost every single milestone game he's ever had. So that was his 200th game.
True.
He's lost that one. He lost his 150th, his 100th, and his 50th.
When he's playing 250, I'm loading up on the other team.
Yep. So he's lost every milestone game he's ever had. It's pretty funny, eh?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, Sharks were really cool, man. I think they did the job.
Yeah, without Nico too.
That's it. And as we sort of said before, when I picked them as for my team of the week kind of thing, think they just got to win those games, man. And it was close. They sort of pulled away and then it got close again, and they hung on, and that's the main thing, dude.
That's it. When you like first in those top teams, anytime you can get a win, you're cheering, right?
Exactly.
And you got top players out. Mm-hmm. No, that was good.
All right. Next one. So we got Bronx and Cowboys. That finished 28-16.
Yep. Ezra Mam. He had a good game.
Really good.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, no.
It's funny. I was saying thank you, ma'am, like throughout the game, and he was doing good things. And then he scored that try, and I don't know who was commentating. I think it might have been Dan Denane. And he said it, and then someone was like, I think Cooper was like, he said, "Oh yeah, thank you, ma'am," or something at the end, and I was like, "You dogs, I stole it." I've been saying that all fucking game.
Fucking cowards.
Cowboys looked good early, man. They did look good, but
I tipped them. I tipped the Cowboys. I was thinking they're gonna roll.
Yeah, I did too.
Bronx, but credit to them, they come out pretty firing early. Like they let that early try into Nenai, and it sort of was an arm wrestle then for about half an hour almost, right? Yeah,
I thought it would be like a bit of an arm wrestle. Like I didn't think Cowboys were going to dominate it or anything. Obviously the turning point, it was my mate Drinky Drink just fucking
out of the bread basket,
just
seriously
shoulder to the head. Like when he got sin binned, that was they scored 2 tries in that period, and that it was kind of over then. They had a little push late. I think they came back within a try or whatever, and then Walshy did that little play through the middle there. So yeah, dude, it was Bronx looking good. Like there's not much to really say. Like in terms of, I can't really fault him, man. Like they look good. I think Walsh, as I said, brought that little bit of spark in the team, and you got him and Mam. Like Mam's almost like having a second half. I mean a second fullback.
The 100. Well, like 5'8" are right these days.
Exactly. It's almost like having that second fullback. He's fast. He's like pretty elusive.
Yeah, it seems like he's like quite strong.
Just around the ruck there. It's almost like you almost got like him and Walsh like either side there.
Yeah, they're dangerous either way.
Yeah. And then his combinations I think are get better with Reynolds and stuff as well. So yeah, mate. Like they looked really good. I think Cowboys will be all right. They'll bounce back. As I said, it was in the balance, and they've always got that. The defense and stuff will always keep them in games. Like they were doing some dumb shit, man. They were coming out the end and dropping the ball on the first tackle. They did it like 6 times.
Just like cheap turnovers.
Like literally on the first tackle, and you're just like, do you just want to win this game? Like, and the Broncos probably should have put him away earlier than that.
Yeah.
But they let him back in, to be honest. So
yeah, for sure.
do you reckon that Drinkwater one should have been a send off? Going off of Saifidi today.
Yeah, probably.
I think it should have been.
Yeah.
I
think he's pretty lucky, but
because it's not that he's just hit him high, it's a shoulder charge as well.
Yeah.
I think if you shoulder charge someone to the head, it's a send off, man.
Yeah, it's careless.
It's careless.
Or it could even be reckless.
Yeah, shoulder charge has been out the game for ages now.
Yeah.
That plus you've hit him high.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see pretty bad. What happened to the judiciary.
I would have to say it's at least 3 again.
Yeah.
Only because the ruling of he got sin binned.
Which is
but because it's a shoulder charge, you never know. It might be more. Yeah.
And they don't have the hammer anymore. So
yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how that all works for them.
Do you reckon
over the next few weeks.
Would you put Holmes to fullback?
I guess you probably would have to, right? He's getting paid fullback money.
Yeah.
Might as well put him back there.
I'm sure they have someone for
cover the centre.
Yeah. Might be the way to go.
Yeah, it might be the way to go. I think they'll be, like you say, they'll be fine. They didn't start very well last year.
Yeah.
They come fucking pretty good.
True.
Come third.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be all right, mate. They'll get through.
Broncos, I guess, want to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
You moved them into your top 8, didn't you?
I did have them in the top 8. I think they'll definitely make it this year. Just as I said, they're looking this good last year, really.
Yeah, true.
But then they just
fell away.
They dropped off.
There.
So
yeah,
I think they'll probably learn from that this year, as I sort of said last week, and they'll be all right. So we had the Dolphins Raiders. I didn't watch all of this game.
No, neither.
Obviously, we were having a bit of a few beer stews last night.
We were all day.
So yeah, I seen patches of this game. I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah,
it didn't look like the greatest game, to be honest. It was raining, and a bit shit.
Down rain. Good for the Dolphins, but to get the win.
Yeah, man.
It could have went either way, right? It was 10 minutes to go, but did enough.
It just shows like a typical Bennett team, isn't it? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Just in the grind.
Gritty, staying in it and doing the job, man, at the end. So
yeah. Sean O'Sullivan was dirty at himself when he got sin bin.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I seen that bit. He was dirty. It looked like he was about to pull his hair out.
What did he get sin bin for?
Head high, I think. Or no, it might have been professional foul. Oh, one of the two. Yeah.
Was that quite late on or something?
Yeah, it was with 10 to go, or 9 to go.
Thought he fucked the game.
Yeah, thought he did. He set up try before to get him even, and then did that. So he was real dirty himself.
Could you see them making the finals?
I guess from what we've seen now, you can't really say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, did you see that hit Tafusi did?
Mate.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
That was better than last week.
I swear he wasn't like that at Storm. Or if he was, it was just in team with such good players.
That, man, everything I've heard is he's known for his defense. That's why he's in teams. He doesn't do a lot in attack. He does his job, but he's there because he's a defender.
Yeah.
But not because of his shots, just because he's a safe defender and you know what you're going to get from him.
He's just fucking folding blokes.
Folding.
Go to the laundromat and get folded.
Oh my God. Why did they pull that back as well?
I don't know.
I didn't watch the full game, so I don't know what the ruling was there. But on the highlights I've seen of that, I don't know why that got pulled back. Was it because he knocked on when he hit him? But he's not playing. Because the same thing happened last week when he hit Cheese.
Yeah.
He did hit the ball with his hand because Cheese was passing it. But I think they said it wasn't played at.
Yeah.
So
it should have been the same thing.
It should have been the same thing as play
that's
on.
the thing. That's what the consistency that we're talking about.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
One week to the next.
It's hard because I don't know if that's what the ruling
is. Yeah,
but
probably will. We'll say it is.
We'll say it is, yeah. Where to for the Raiders, mate? What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, I mean, they do it every year, right? They start pretty shit. They'll make a run through the middle, maybe fall off a little bit at the end, and then miss out for the finals by a game or two.
Yeah.
Maybe it's history repeating.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'd say they'll string a few together. I don't really see them doing much.
Yeah.
For mine, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard. Next week, they've got Sharks.
Yep.
They're at home, but they could be 0-3 as well there.
Yeah, and you don't want to start the season off with 3 losses.
Yeah. In
games that you were in and you could have won both.
They should have won that game last night. From what I've seen, man, they're obviously in front and, it's going to be a close affair just because, the rain and how it was. But you know, you got to finish those games off if you want to have any chance this year. Like, it's
for sure.
You know, I just don't know if they've got the made of the right stuff. You know what I mean? All right, mate. So next one was Storm Dogs.
Fuck yeah, I was
big upset.
I was about to say who saw that coming, but
I did.
You did.
I did.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, so I thought, for me personally, I thought the Storm would struggle without the big names. Like, they were missing Munster. Coach didn't play for him.
Yeah.
And obviously they got a bunch of forwards out and stuff as well. I couldn't see where the spark was going to come from. I know they have Grant and Hughes, but it's a lot to put on two players like for their whole team.
Yeah, and I think we saw it last year too, right? Like when Munster wasn't there, they were sort of fell apart a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think like, although I think it was a bit of that, I think it was also that they just like the attitude was an issue as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like it
wasn't a Storm like.
They missed 49 tackles.
Yeah, that's not
Storm. Do you see Bellamy blowing
up? Mate, I wouldn't be surprised if they do like an army camp through the week.
Oh, I'd hate to play him next week.
Mate. Oh, seriously.
If you're tipping against the Storm next week, you don't know football.
Yeah.
You do not know football.
Nah, you got rocks in your head.
Yep.
They do have the Titans.
I don't care. So, Titans just got pumped as well.
Yeah. So surely.
Yeah. You'd think they're going to win that. But 49 missed tackles wasn't great. No. Hopefully they bounce back. You think they will. Yeah. Do you sort of see this becoming maybe an end of one era and a start of another with the Bulldogs?
I'd hope so. A good Bulldogs team is good for NRL.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Love to see it.
Again, I think it's an attitude thing.
Yeah.
You know, I said last week, I was like, I just don't think they turned up week one. They sort of had these new players and they're like,
they thought it was just going to happen.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
But this week, you seen they were on from minute one.
Yep.
It was 26-0 at one stage, mate.
Yeah.
And you know, I think Jacob Preston really impressed me.
Yep.
He was really, really strong for them. Big Eddie, one of our mates, he has massive raps on him, mate. Loves him.
Loves it.
So yeah, like I think he was really good.
Yeah.
Kicks looked a lot better.
He did. Reid was good. Jacob Carraz, he looks about 38 years old. He does.
Apparently he's 19.
That's so funny. He must have had a hard life, that bastard.
He looks like, me and Ed were saying, he looks like Hazem El Masri in his last year playing for the Dogs.
Just weathered.
He ran for 235 run meters and scored 2 meaties as well. So he was really good for a man. Yeah. He's going to be one for the future. Yeah. Hopefully he stops aging as much as his body.
So. But that's it.
Yeah.
They just need to build on it.
Yeah.
Keep whatever they were doing was working, right? Up the middle, spread it wide. You're scoring on your edges.
Yeah,
like it's a simple plan, but just keep doing it.
That's it.
They'll keep getting wins.
Yeah, mate. I think that's it for those ones. I think the last game which just finished now, was the Titans and St. George. From what I've watched of it, I think Titans played really, really well in the first 10-20 minutes. They were on top. Verrill scored a really cool try out of dummy half and stuff, which shows their sort of that ruck sort of speed and difference they sort of have through the middle this year.
Yep.
But then I don't know what happened, man. Dragons scored 3 tries really quick.
Yeah.
And it was over basically, man.
Yeah.
Like one right on halftime, literally after the siren.
Just puts the confidence down.
But
Titans would have been so dirty.
It was just almost like a momentum shift, and that was it, mate. Like, it was weird. Like, Dragons look pretty good, man. So what was it? 32 to 18. 32 to 18.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's it. Well,
interesting one.
We both definitely had them for Wooden Spoon, but
yeah.
I mean,
if the Tigers
if we're allowed to change it, maybe we'll change the Tigers.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how the Tigers change with someone like Bateman in the team.
Yeah.
Does he change it that much?
I don't know. Does he? Like, you think with Appy and Papali'i and Clem, they were going to change a lot.
Like Papali'i didn't look great either today.
No,
did nothing.
No.
They almost went more down the right side with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is, but he knocked out Ponga and shit. Like,
yeah. I don't know his name.
It went more down that channel rather than the other side.
Yep. Which is like, he's one of your big recruits, right? Yeah. He needs to be getting the ball a bit more or in better position.
Is that because Brooksy plays down the right more?
I suppose so, yeah.
so these don't always go that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really watch too close, but I don't know if Brooks sort of goes both sides.
He sort of does. He mostly sort of stays to the one side.
That was another thing I seen in the Dogs game as well. They just sort of made him sweep both sides a lot more. Like they I think Serraldo's gone, I'm not going to make him stick to one side.
No,
the halves were sweeping both ways a lot more in against that game as well. But back to Titans Dragons. Yeah, as I said, we didn't watch too much of it. Obviously, we sort of started the potty as it was finishing. But looks like Dragons played really well, man. They've run away with it. So
we'll just see, like next week after.
It's hard for them. It was their first game.
For sure.
It's really like a how do they go next week kind of thing.
Exactly.
They've got the next week Bronx, big game for them.
Oh yeah, up
big
here
game.
too.
So up here, that's going to be a test. We'll probably know what they're sort of made of a little bit more after that one.
Sure.
So that'll be an interesting one.
Yep.
All right, mate. So that's it for that. We'll move into our next segment. You sweet or nah?
Let's do it.
All right. So you sweet or nah? This week we're going to start off with the Knights Captain's Challenge. Dom Young pulling back.
Is he fucking sweet or nah? I was not sweet. You should have heard me. I'm blowing up at the telly. What the fuck are you doing?
Why would you challenge that though?
That's
the part that I don't get.
He was the one going.
I understand why he did it because he was running.
Yeah.
And I think you're in full play. Right?
Yeah.
Old mate's dummied.
Yeah.
And he's probably just thought, he's thrown it.
Yeah.
And he's grabbed him as he's done it.
Yeah.
And you're like, he probably thought he threw it. But then to challenge it, you've known you've grabbed him.
Yeah.
And then
there's a million cameras.
Oh, sorry.
There's a million cameras. Shut up, Siri.
Siri.
There's a million cameras. Surely his teammates said you've tackled him.
Yeah.
Or someone from the side said, no, don't challenge it.
Fucking challenge.
What the fuck? It was terrible.
That's
probably the worst call
I think I've ever seen.
Worst captain's challenge has been
ever.
And of course it comes out of the
was it just we'll do it because he's going in the bin, hopefully. But it was so obvious, man.
Seriously.
The worst call ever.
You still go to the bin and we lose the challenge.
Yeah.
Come on. I was not sweet.
No, it was awful. So after the game, obviously, Hastings hit Tommy Talau trying to save a try.
Yeah, no malice.
I didn't even really see the high hit. You could see he even hit the ball. So he did what he was doing.
He literally brushed his nose.
He was trying to do what he did what he was trying to do. Sorry, he hit the ball as he did it, and obviously brushed his chin or nose or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was a bit of a scuffle. Talau got up once he recovered or whatever and tried to kick off, and there was a bit of a scuffle. But after the game, they were having an interview with him, and he sort of said, "Look, I'm really sorry. I obviously didn't mean it. I'm going to apologize to him now."
Yep.
And then the interview finished, and they kept it on him, and he walked straight over to Talau. And Talau has grabbed him by the shirt and pushed him, and then Clem has come over as well, saying fuck off,
yeah.
And then he was just sort of laughed and walked away, and then sort of Brandy after it was he's gone and said something to him, but he's literally just finished the interview saying I'm going to go say sorry.
He's gone to apologize. Do you reckon it's just shits about it?
Do you reckon it's just the heat of the moment? The Tigers have fucking lost the worst game ever.
Possibly,
bit of a sore loser sort of thing there.
Maybe he's just butthurt that he.
That's what I mean. Bit of a sore loser.
That's the way it came across. He did. There was no malice.
No,
he didn't take his head off.
Yeah.
Saifidi cleaned that other bloke up.
Yeah.
And gave him a hug in the walkway on the way down to the bin.
I think footy rules are whatever happens in the game stays in the game.
Yeah.
After the game, you shake it out and you're done.
Yeah.
That's just what it is, man.
Yeah, you men, get over it.
Get over it. He didn't mean it. That was fucking, what's his name? That got hit by Jacob Saf. He had more of a reason after the game
for sure
to be
it was
you're
his
a
first
fucking
game,
cunt.
I think.
Who was it? Simpson or whatever?
Was it Simpkin? Yeah.
I think it was Simpkin.
Yeah, right.
He could have easily went up and gone, hey,
fuck you.
Fuck you, mate. You just done this to me. No. But he's shook it out and gone,
they hugged it out and be sorry, bro. I didn't mean to get you. It happened on the field.
Talau, and he's just gone for a try saver.
Yeah.
And he's hit him in the head a little bit.
Just butt hurt me, I reckon.
It happened with Moses as well, on that in the game through the week as well, and he sort of scored a try. he got up holding his jaw. Like, that was another thing he sort of whinged about.
Yeah.
But like, he was just going, his head was this far from the ground, man, like an inch from the ground.
Yeah.
And old mate's come through just to tackle him, and he's kind of hit him in the jaw.
Yeah.
Same shit.
What are you meant to do?
What are you meant to do?
If you're going for a try, I'll just get out of the way.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right. Yep, you score. No worries. I'll put my hands up.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. So
no, it's part and parcel. Like, it just comes with the game.
Yeah, that's a big nah for me. Big nah.
Same, yeah.
Next one. So Bronx obstruction call with Walsh, and they said they took it back and said he was running around the back.
For the Farnworth try.
But I feel like you can't rule on that unless you have a camera that runs across the dead ball line that's in line.
Yeah, and you get the exact
line, because it was angled left to right.
Yeah.
And that was the way he was running. So you couldn't tell.
No.
Like, if you think about your left to right and he's running that way, he's going to look like he's not where he is.
It's an obstructive view. Yeah.
So he's going to look like he's more to the other side than he is to the right side.
It makes it look way worse than what it was.
Way worse.
Yeah. I thought it was
I just can't think, like, if on field the ref goes, yep, sweet, great.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
He's seen it. He must be in the right spot.
Exactly. You don't know his position.
No.
You can't overrule that try because there's no clear evidence that he's definitely on the wrong side of him there. There's no clear evidence on that. So that's a nah for me.
That's a nah for me. I blew up. I had fun with for a try anyway, but that was
awful. I just didn't like that.
No.
And then the only other one was we had Jackson Paulo. He got a high hit in the game, the Roosters game that I seen. It wasn't bad enough that you could even notice it. Like, and he got straight up, like it kind of clipped him. I think it was like a bit of a shoulder as he got hit.
Yep.
Like, hard tackle, went down, played on. The ball went on the whole set, about 50, 60 meters down the field. They passed it out to Suoliti. I think it was on the 5th tackle or whatever. And he dropped the ball. Basically, the ref goes, penalty. We're going back. Literally, it was on like the 20-meter line.
Yeah.
They went right the way back on the other side of the field, and they gave a penalty from there. We did talk about this last week about the whole with the Graham one.
Like, how far should they be able to take it back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, okay, they're clearly going to do this, but the thing that I have an issue with is they don't reset the clock.
No.
So that game played on for another minute.
Yeah.
All right. And then what if that's in the last 2-3 minutes of the game?
Yeah.
And then you go back, but then the team trying to score a try, say they're the defending team, and they do a head high, and there's 2 minutes left in the game. They've just lost a minute, and then that team is going to kick for touch, and then get the ball back again, and they have a minute with the ball.
Yeah.
But the other team need it. That's it. That's the game.
Yeah, you
don't get that minute back.
Massive disadvantage.
Okay, yeah, they've done something wrong, but you've penalised them twice, really, because they've lost time, plus they've lost that. So I think there needs to be some sort of thing. Okay, what was the exact time when he got hit, when the penalty should have occurred?
Yeah.
Let's put that time back on the clock.
If we're taking it back to where the incident happened, we should be able to take the clock back.
If you don't add time on at the end of the game, like they don't do that.
No.
Okay, well, let's put the time back on the clock.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they know exactly when it happened.
Yeah.
Like, just put the clock back.
Yeah. I think they're going to do it, so I'm sweet with if they're going to like go back and do that shit, great. That's fine. I don't agree with it, but I'm sweet with it if they don't do it, only if they put that time back on the clock.
There has to be it has to be something that actually look at doing. Because you're not allowed to, you shouldn't be getting penalised twice.
Yeah. All right, that's another week of you sweet or nah.
Lovely.
All right, so we're going to move on to the games for next week. Obviously, as we said, we are filming this on a Sunday, so it's early days, but we're going to make our tips. So
we don't have the team list yet.
No team lists, so we'll just make our tips for the week.
Yep.
So we got Manly Eels on Thursday night, mate. Who you got there? That's at Manly.
Going Manly.
Yeah, I agree.
They were good. They were good against the Dogs, coming off a bye.
Yeah. You can't tip against them, especially with the Eels are playing, man.
For sure.
Yep, so I'm going Manly as well. Next one, you got Knights Dolphins.
You know who I'm going.
Going Knights. Why are you going Knights, mate?
Going Knights.
Looks good.
At home. First game back at home for the year. Don't know. Like, Dolphins could be anything, I suppose. But
yeah,
I think Knights, they are favourites just. don't know how. But yeah, I don't know. If we can put in a performance like we did today with a healthy squad, you'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be a much better outcome, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Knights as well. I just think like this week will really spur them on. Like, and I think they'll have a lot of good energy at training this week. And although the Dolphins had a good win, they've had 2 pretty tough games, and I just think that high might drop off, and hopefully it's away from home.
The weekend levels,
first week sort of away. They're going to travel now and just different things like that. And I think they might lose this one. So I'm on the Knights. Next one, Roosters Rabbits.
Roosters.
Go
on the Roosters. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I've got Rabbits up there. But I think they'll come good later in the year. I think Latrell's not right.
Yeah.
The Roosters.
Arrow's still out. I think it was 3 to 4 weeks. He said. Yeah. They said.
They're just I like the Roosters. I think they had a gritty win on the weekend, but when these two come up against each other, it's always a massive. Yeah. Doesn't matter what your form's like.
That's the thing. It's hard to know, right? Because it's always like form goes out the window a little bit with these two teams. They'll get up for it. Both teams will.
100%.
Apparently JWH is back this week, Robbo said, and Rads is back. So
of course
those two like inclusions are going to be massive for us. Yeah. I think with those two in, I've just tipped the Roosters just. So I think with our back line, you add those two in. Manu another week fitter, healthier. I think we can maybe just sneak over the line. As you said, with Latrell and those a little bit worse for wear at the moment.
Yeah.
Next game, so you got the Titans Storm.
I think as we said before, I'm definitely tipping the Storm. They're not gonna get beat by the Bulldogs and then play poorly 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the Storm as well, mate. They're gonna fucking come out swinging, I reckon.
For sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they put a
bit of a romp
cricket score on.
I can see that as well.
Yeah.
You got Cowboys Warriors at Cowboys.
Yeah, go on the Cowboys. They'll bounce back from that loss against the Broncos. Still hot. It's always hot up there, but hot. New Zealand coming over.
Traveling over.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see, do Warriors go home in these sort of weeks? Say if they have 2 away games, would they just stay in?
I don't know.
Stay in Oz? I think that would be more, surely that's probably
better for their routine and everything.
Routine.
But then
because you lose time and shit, but then you don't have your family. It's hard, right?
I don't know. Maybe if they have 2 weeks in a row, maybe they just go to, because they were in Sunny Coast for a bit, right? Maybe they just go camp Sunny Coast.
That's what I'm thinking. Got a lot of Aussie boys in the team as well, man. So, you know. I'm going Cowboys as well. I think they'll get up. Bronx Dragons.
I've tipped the Broncos. Dragons did play really well this Arvo, but it'll be a good, that could be the game where it could go either way for me, I reckon. But I've tipped the Broncos.
Yeah, I think Bronx at home, they'll get up. I just think they'll be too strong. They showed enough for me. Dragons are still a question mark, so I can't tip them. You know what I mean? In a couple of weeks, if they're still going strong, 100%. But at the moment, you got to go Bronx. Of what we've seen, you got the Dogs and Tigers next.
I'm gonna go the Tigers. No, as if definitely going the Bulldogs.
Yep.
Tigers might come out and play a bit better than they did, but if the Doggies play anywhere near what they played on Saturday, they'll get it.
Yeah, you can't tip past the Dogs. No. Tigers just looked fucking terrible, mate.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Can we change our bottom, our wooden spoon pick?
I think we'll have to stick with it, mate. Yeah. We've already had changes in the top 8.
We have. We'll be that podcast that changes every week.
Yeah. You have the Raiders Sharks for the last one there, mate.
Go on the Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on the Sharks. Hard to tip the Raiders, right?
Yeah. I'd just like to see a couple of 0-3 teams and just pressure on hard, you know what I mean? Like the Eels and Raiders, two teams you probably wouldn't think that would be as well. Yeah, it'd be cool. I'd just like to see a bit of pressure on some teams.
And you start, then all the shit,
content,
all the shit comes out about the coaches, how under fire they are.
Yeah.
Even though Eels are in the grand final, how under pressure is he?
Yeah. And I've obviously tipped the Sharks to finish first, so I need them to win these sorts of games.
That's true.
I'm on Sharks as well for that one.
Yeah, nice.
Just quickly, mate, we've got a little multi for the week. Obviously, it is early days, so we don't have the team list to do any try scorers.
Yep.
But what have you sort of tipped for your multi?
I've just done a 6 game multi, just head to head. Manly, Newcastle, Roosters, Cowboys, Bulldogs, Sharks, and you get $19.43 for that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I've just done 3 teams. Just done a 13 plus. I think there might be a couple blowouts this weekend. So I've done Manly to beat the Para Eels by 13 plus.
Yep.
I just think, like, just as what we were saying, like I could see a big blowout into like Eels copping it. You know what I mean? Like next week. So 13 plus them. Bulldogs 13 plus over the Tigers.
Yep.
Just think they might run right on them. And then I've done a Cowboys 13 plus over New Zealand. Obviously with New Zealand backing up in Australia.
Yep.
That's paying $21. So pretty good for 3 teams.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. All right. That wraps up this week's potty. We will be back next week and be discussing all the news around the league. Thanks. We'll see you then.